I'm Ashley Dunn.
And I'm Kelly Six.
We're the South Coast Connection.
And you're watching Media Spotlight UK.
Hey guys, Aatif Nawaz here with a very special section for Media Spotlight UK, right here with South Coast Connection. We're very excited to be here with you guys. I like that you nearly got your outfits coordinated as well. Nearly.
Well, he always tells me off when I wear the same stuff as him to an event, so we've deliberately worn different things today, and it might be out of date, but it's different.
It tells a story, isn't it? It's like a before and after almost.
It does. I just need to fade over him as time goes on.
Now, you guys wrestle as a tag team pretty much all the time. You've done loads of stuff for WCW/Defiant Wrestling before. What's the most fun indie promotion you work with?
Most fun in... Oh, man, this...
Doesn't have to be the best one, just the most fun one.
Most fun one. On a personal level, I obviously enjoy stuff like this. Our debut here for Defiant, when it was What Culture before, was probably one of my favourite moments just of all time for myself, because we're on such a high and we didn't really expect to get much out of it. So that was one of the most fun times. In terms of places I could just go, chill out, there's no pressure or anything. I was a big fan of going down to a place, it's called South Coast Wrestling, actually. It's now Strike Wrestling, run by Dave Southcoast. It's down my way on the South Coast,
is that
funnily
his name?
enough. Yeah, Dave
his name is Dave Southcoast?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's amazing.
And he, I don't think he lived on the South Coast originally, but he moved to the South Coast and then made that there. I was like, right, my mind's blown.
See, between him, the company, and your tag team, you're putting the South Coast on the map.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always been on the map. Don't get me wrong, it's on a map. But yeah, obviously. So you guys, as I said, you get to travel and you get to wrestle all sorts of places, and you get to work with amazing talent. There's a bit of a confusion out there about your relationship with Will Ospreay. Some people say that you guys are like best friends. Other people say you grew up together, you started together. What's the real deal? Set the record straight, guys.
Well, I thought he was going to go into a different thing there. We're confused about your relationship with Will Ospreay. Are you going to get married?
You can talk
about
just to remind everybody, the logo at the bottom says Media Spotlight UK, nothing else. Okay.
So we've known Will for what? It must be over 10 years. So we're not going to beat around the bush with this one. We used to backyard wrestle with Will many moons ago. And that's where we first met Will. And I don't want to be like, well, let's talk about Will Ospreay. But when we first saw him, we noticed that there was something about him, just the way that he moved, the way that he was doing all his flips and stuff. And would you say there was a bit of jealousy? There was a little bit of jealousy when I saw him wrestle, because
friendly envy, maybe.
Yes, friendly envy, definitely, because he was doing all the flips that I could do before, but he was doing them 10 times better than what I was doing. And I was just like, I wish I could be as good as that. But we've known Will for a long time, and it's.
Is that quite motivational though? Like when somebody you grew up with, somebody you spent so much time with, and you know from literally somebody you backyard wrestled with, makes it so big. Does that motivate you massive? Does it make you think, well, you know what, this could happen? It was a dream, but it's actually quite feasible.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely growing up, backyard wrestling has always been kind of, what would be the right word? It's always been very negative in the world of wrestling. It's always been seen as kind of this trash baggy, they don't know how to wrestle, all this kind of stuff, which because of promotions and videos and video games in America have given you this kind of, this is what backyard wrestling is, when it completely wasn't that. Where some of the guys decided, let's go into the world of indie wrestling, and some of them are some of the biggest talent in the UK at the moment, where you and I kind of just decided to hang on till the bitter end. But I mean, we watched people like Will and some others just grow and getting on bigger promotions, and it was when I finally decided to call it a day, backyarding. We were talking about maybe 7-8 years ago. I just did nothing. I was in a band for a while, and then funnily enough, talk about Will again. I saw Will at a local wrestling show, and he went, "Come on, Ashley, come on, get back to wrestling again." And I found a local training school, and it was his push that could have made me go, "Yeah, tell you what, let's give this another go." And then now look us.
Look at you guys.
Defiant Wrestling in London.
There you go, Defiant Wrestling London, the Coronet. Obviously, because you guys are a tag team, is it harder to pitch yourselves to promoters, or how is that different from pitching as a singles person?
So for both of us, we've spoken and we've agreed that at the end of the day, we prefer singles wrestling. We've spent so much time learning how to wrestle a single style and how to get involved in all the drama and stuff like that, that we have dedicated ourselves to doing that. We have different sort of outlooks on wrestling. We love tagging, at least I do anyway. I'm not really sure if, but yeah, we love tagging, and it's definitely something that whenever we get opportunities, stuff like this, we love to do it, and we're going to do it wherever we can.
I don't know, like the way that I would see is if a promotion wanted both of us to team with each other, more than happy to do it. If they turn around and say, hey, Kelly, or hey, Ashley, we want you by yourself, we wouldn't kick up a fuss and be like, no, we have to have the other guy here. But yeah, if any promotion wants us both to team, more than happy. If they want just us as singles guys, more than happy as well.
So if anything, it just adds a dimension to you guys, like that we can do this. It's like an extra thing that makes it harder. Like, because when you're trying to sort of make a living as a wrestler, as a wrestler on the independent circuit, it helps to open up that extra avenue for yourself, I imagine. Yeah,
I mean, especially considering, I mean, you decided to take the jump to full-time wrestling, didn't you? You decided to call it a day with your job. I should probably let you explain this rather than myself, in case I get anything wrong. But
how does that do that? Like, what was it? Can I ask you, like, what it was specifically that made you think, you know what, this is the moment I have to concentrate on wrestling specifically now? Why?
I want to hear you tell my story. It'd be good. But, I just kind of... There was one thing that happened at work that tipped me over the edge. There was a build-up of stuff.
Okay.
And there was one thing, and no disrespect to my ex-boss if you're watching this, but...
Who almost certainly is, by the way.
My ex-boss.
Your Xbox. That's an amazing Xbox if
I'm
he's
much
watching.
more of a PS4 player. Add me on there, Kelly_6. So basically, we were just having like a team conversation, and for some reason, people's like goals in life came up, and her genuine goal and aim in life was to be able to shop at places like Marks and Spencer's and like go to London and buy a £500 handbag and stuff. I was like, and I just sat there quietly to myself thinking, that's literally all you aim for in life. And I looked around, like everyone else was like, yeah, like agreeing. I was like, this is like, these are not people I want to be around. Like, I want to do something that's fun. I really want to enjoy myself day to day. And like there was another quote or something, I can't remember again where this one came from, but basically someone said like, why would you work an entire year for like 2 weeks holiday usually people would get if they go abroad max. Why would you work an entire year for 2 weeks holiday when you can make your whole life a holiday? Whereas like, yeah, you have to grind with it as well. But I mean, like I love going to the gym. I love like coming up with ideas at home, going to training, going to shows. I love my life. So, I mean, yeah, I can't afford to buy myself stuff as like I could before. I can't afford to buy myself a holiday, but I don't need a holiday. So,
do you enjoy your life?
Sells.
Let's go to the fun stuff, right? Because it got really heavy there all of a sudden. You know, it's like this. But the thing is, like, I do want to ask you about merch. It's a really cool thing that you came down on there. Like, what kind of like what was the first fun idea you had for merch specifically with South Coast Connection?
Can we tell a story about what happened the other day?
Yeah. Tell us the story about what happened the other day.
It's nothing really too amazing. I guess it's funnier for us. But so it was Newcastle? Yeah. Yes, it was Newcastle. After the show, we were at the back of the room selling merchandise. Mind you, we don't actually have South Coast merchandise yet. We have actually been talking about it, but we've only got my T-shirt and Kelly's T-shirt. So we're at the merch table with our stuff out, and this girl comes across, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know you guys," and we're just like, "Yeah, who are we?" She goes, looks at Kelly and goes, "You're David Starr." And Kelly's just like,
"Is that the expression you dropped on her?" Then, yeah.
And we're like, "He's not David Starr." She goes, "Oh yeah, you're South Coast Connection. I really, really want a South Coast Connection T-shirt." And we're just like, "I'm really sorry, we haven't got them yet." And she goes, "No, but I really, really want one." I said, "Look, we haven't got them." She was like, "Well, which one of those two is the South Coast Connection T-shirt?" We're like, "Well, neither. That's mine, and this is Kelly's. Do you want to buy one then?" She goes, "Yeah," and just points to mine. I was like, "Yeah, there you go." So I got the merch money for that one. But
how tempted were you to just like pop out, buy any shirt you could find with like an S on it, and just be like, "This is the official Southwest Connection T-shirt, £75, please."
We should have just special offer for her. But we were talking about this the other day that we're going to go for something quirky. You mentioned, was it snapbacks you wanted to go for?
Yeah, I think like as you can see, we're both wearing snapbacks now, and we just wear snapbacks day to day. And it kind of like, we look like the younger guys on the roster because we pretty much, well...
We're older than Will.
We're older than a lot of the guys in the roster. Yeah, but like we look like young guys in the roster. So the whole snapback thing kind of goes with that. And like we wear them all the time. But yeah, we'll get our own ones of those, get our own T-shirts. We don't want to go too overboard because we appreciate the fact that we are new, especially in terms of like the Defiant guys. So like we're not going to necessarily shift as much merch as some of the bigger names here are going to do, and we especially don't want to take up too much space at the table. That's again a bit too disrespectful, but we know our place. We want to get a little bit of stuff for the guys that do want it, because there are clearly people that do want it. They've asked us for it, and we have to go, no, sorry. And we'll hopefully be able to fill that gap.
Oh, there's so much involved, the politics of the table, the merch table. This is the stuff you need to know. Just finally, guys, and appreciate you guys taking out the time before your big match tonight as well to talk to us, but like finally, the overall goal, like what is it you guys want to achieve specifically with South Coast Connection?
Global domination.
That sounds good, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that sounds pretty extreme, but as South Coast Connection is basically work as many places. I mean, I know we'd say everyone about the fact that, teaming or going singles and stuff, but I would love for any promotion in the UK that did want us on the show, we're more than happy to do it. And I mean, I know that one of my personal goals is either Japan or America. So even if it was a case that we could wrestle international, even if it's Europe, it'd be cool to take South Coast Connection abroad and just basically just show more people what we're capable of and what we can do.
So to wrestle internationally, basically, yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
What's a short answer?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid one. Personal goal that I've been thinking about recently for us is that I'd like to be able to phase the team into something where we can both put our singles personalities into it. So very much when we put ourselves together as a team, we try to make ourselves look as much of a team as possible. But then over time, we've realised that we have our own sort of personalities we want to mesh into it so we can become more of ourselves. We've started doing that with gear changes and things like that, and which means that when people see us solo and then they see us as a tag, it's not two different worlds. And then with that, of course, that means that we can tag wherever we want and we get our names out there as a tag team and as solo competitors. So, yeah, I certainly am not looking to break the team up anytime soon, as long as you're not.
No.
There you go. It's official. You heard it here first, right, guys? Listen out for that name because you're going to hear it more and more. South Coast Connection. Listen, make sure you subscribe to Defiant Wrestling and Media Spotlight UK's YouTube channels and stay tuned for loads more stuff.